Okay, we're back for another blog post of the adventures of Nik, the wild adventures of Nik. Here we go again, exposing your life to the world. Sorry, man, it's my job anyway.
Make my life public.
That's right. The life of you and all the people surrounding you, a bunch of weird people. Yesterday, I get this photograph of Nik inside a tent.
It was a big tent.
It was a big tent, right? Where was that? Where was that thing?
That was basically in the desert near the Kazakh steppes in Kazakhstan.
In Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Drinking vodka, homemade local vodka.
Brew of the most.
With a beautiful woman who is a descendant of Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, that will be on Nik's Facebook wall. So if you think I'm kidding, you can go to the Facebook wall and you can check out these photographs. Really ridiculous. But we're not going to talk about that today. That's for another day. Okay. Right now we're going to talk about orangutans.
Yeah.
Okay, so most people, when you think of orangutans, they think of the zoo. They think of the jungle. They think of Africa or something. And you, on the other hand, when you think of orangutans, you go and adopt them.
Absolutely, definitely.
How'd that happen?
First of all, I love animals. Okay, I mean, I've had probably every animal. I mean, I've even had ostriches as pets. Back in Australia, I mean, I've had so many different birds, dogs and cats, what have you. But I love apes. And I love anything that's kind of like endangered, on the endangered side. I mean, I don't see humanity becoming extinct.
Right,
so for me, endangered species of animals, so the next generation can actually visit them in zoos and what have you. So, but orangutans.
Well, how'd this happen? I mean, you adopted 100 orangutans
in Borneo and Indonesia.
Borneo and Indonesia. How'd that come about? I mean, that's not something everybody does every day. But you didn't get an email or something.
I was reading a lot of media articles too, and about their habitat and the encroachment of man, I guess. And sort of developers sort of clearing the entire jungle, what have you. So they're losing their habitat. The parents are being murdered, and there are so many orphans out there. So basically, they're on a current reserve right now. And I wanted to make a difference. So by sponsoring, 100, young apes, and basically financing them until they become adults too, so they can basically have their own families too at a later stage in life. But to me, it was just that feeling of helping an endangered species.
So, do we get to go visit them? Or?
Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually here at Borneo, but I want to go I want to actually spend as much time as possible in the jungle, camp out with them, climb a tree with them, and I can't wait. It's going to be really cool.
That is going to be really cool. So I know that we talked in our first blog post. You said, okay, we're going to name the first one Dodo.
Dodo's going to be the first one.
Dodo's the first one. I think, and I have not checked with you.
You want to change the name?
No, then I don't need to change the name. But I'm just thinking that we should invite our Thrillionaire community to help.
100.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
isn't that a good idea? Right?
Okay.
Cool with you?
I'm
okay.
cool with that.
So, putting out a request to the worldwide Thrillionaire community, we need names for orangutans.
Okay.
So please submit your name to the blog post, along with your proposed name for your favorite orangutan name, if you will.
We've got to be able to pronounce it, okay?
Right. Well, we're going to talk about that because we're going to get to your dog here in a second.
Okay.
So this is the post on animals with Nik. Anyway, so we got 100 orangutans in Borneo. They're on the reserve right now.
Yep.
They're happy. They're doing well, and we eventually, hopefully, are going to get a trip down there.
We plan to spoil them too, massages and all too. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that just brings me right into the next thing, which is you have a dog that has a Facebook page with more friends than you.
And she has more friends than what I do.
Okay,
would you believe that? Seriously?
Now, how did that happen? That's ridiculous. How does that happen?
She gets on Twitter. That's it. I'm leaving.
Tell us the story about Cassie.
Okay,
let's go back. Come on. The story's a great story.
4 or 5 years ago. It was New Year's Eve, and around 3 o'clock in the morning, a little dog just jumped on my lap. I was basically sitting on a park bench. Little dog jumped on my lap and just refused to leave. She looked me in the eyes, those weeping eyes, very manipulative, by the way. She seduced my man. I'm picking her up. I felt so sorry for this little dog. So anyway, I sort of like inquired whether her owners were nearby, but it turned out that she ran away and she was lost. So there was a police station nearby, and I said, "Hey, listen, I've just found this dog, and perhaps the owners may be close by." And I said, "Well, we can't do nothing about it. Just take her home." I go, "I'm going to take this dog home." And I was actually living in Fiji the next day.
You were going to Fiji the next day?
I was in Fiji. I'm thinking, what am I going to do with the dog for the next, however long the owners decide to come and collect her? So I took her to the last dog's home. And, thinking that an accountable, dog owner will come and collect the dog. I mean,
Sure, of course.
I sort of figured, well, it was New Year's Eve, it might have got spooked by fireworks and what have you.
Right.
So anyway, I go to Fiji thinking, the dog, a couple of days later, the owner will come and collect it. I returned back from Fiji about 9-10 days later, and I get a phone call. Mr. Halleck, the dog actually brought in on New Year's Day. She's still here, and we're about to put her down.
Oh no.
And I'm thinking, what do I do?
And you're in trouble because you love animals, so you're in big trouble.
In my lifetime, I'm constantly traveling.
Right.
I've visited over 110 countries on the globe. So for me, it's, the whole thing of like caring for a dog. It's
a little tough.
I sort of decided that, at least I'll go to the Lost Dogs home and I'll pay her a visit, see how she's doing. And as I was basically walking up to all these kennels or the cages, I saw her from a distance. She was very withdrawn, like her physiology was down, she wasn't eating, and she was sort of just hovering, and she was very timid and trembling. And as I got closer to her cage, she saw me and just sprung to life. I mean, she's barking with excitement, this euphoria, And
you were done. You were toast, bro.
I was melted. That's it. I mean, this dog just managed to Anyway, I found her, but the funny thing is, it cost me $700 to adopt her.
With all the shots and all the other stuff you had to do.
Absolutely, definitely. So I took her home, and
home to where?
Home to in Australia.
Okay.
And that's basically where her entire foundations are basically pretty much started, I guess. So.
And now the thing is that a lot of times when it comes to Nick, and you guys will experience this because you'll see me constantly doing this, you kind of have to pull the story out because what this guy does every day is what most people do once in a lifetime. And I'm not kidding. You will see over and over the amazing things that Nick just thinks is like this is what you do on a Tuesday. You go have lunch with, the guy that just walked on the moon. Anyway, tell us Cassie's life today. How did she come to have a Facebook page that gets more visitors than you?
She gets pampered, okay? Imagine this, right? Imagine cologne treatments. Like once every couple of weeks, if a person comes over and just gives her like a cologne treatment, okay? having her paws massaged to the back of her neck and what have you. This is Cassie. Oh, sorry, Cassiopeia. She likes to be called Cassiopeia. How's this? She refuses to eat dog food. She refuses to eat food out of a can. She needs a human plate, and she loves human food now. Out of control.
And by the way, we got a picture floating somewhere around here, and our mega super editor guy Kevin is for sure going to post it up for us of Cassie by herself
in a limousine.
She
knows the drill. Hops in the back seat and just waits again.
All right. So before we close this out,
I know it's a dog. Just go along with us, okay?
But we want you to go to Cassie's page on Facebook and say hi. Become a friend of Cassie's. We're trying to make sure. My mission is to make sure that Cassiopeia always has more friends than Nick or me on Facebook. Okay. So go to Facebook, Cassiopeia. Right. That's it.
That's Cassiopeia. And mind you, she's already commandeered my birth date. So now she celebrates her birthday the same day as I do. So, I mean, what else is she going to commandeer?
I don't know, but I know one thing. You're about to get a lot more new friends. Cassie's about to get new friends on Facebook. This is what we do, guys. We just have a blast. I'll see you on the next post. You're not going to believe what he does next.